I'd buy that for $1. Well, really a lot more off AliExpress, but that's where I got this one here. This is ED209 by Hiya Toys, so I believe it's supposed to be 1/18 scale. I've always wanted a model of ED209 because it's just an awesome robot. I was a kid, when this movie was out. This was back before CGI. This was using stop motion animation. You'll see the actual movie prop puppet being posed over there. So, very cool. Not the smartest robot in this movie because it was thwarted by a bunch of stairs. It wasn't taken out by Robocop. It was taken out by a stairwell. Anyways, spoiler alert if you're too young to even know what I'm talking about. Anyways, the line of Exquisite Mini toys by Hiya, and that's what we have here. Hot Toys made one of these a long time ago. It was really expensive, really big, never bought it, and the foam on this here, on the Hot Toys, would break off. Here, I'm sure it's plastic. I think NECA also made a larger model of this, and I just felt it was too large, or I found out about it too late and it was too expensive. So, I think this has been opened already. Okay, 1987 is when Robocop came out, apparently, by MGM. There's absolutely nothing on the bottom. Quite interesting. Here we have Fandom, if you want to read that little blurb. It's not too much though. It's the Enforcement Droid Series 209, peacekeeping machines made by OCP on the consumer products. Alright, so, wow, this is still bigger than I thought it would be. I think this is the smallest realistic looking Robocop ED209, but it's still pretty big. Look at the roller up. Alright, well that's effective packaging. Pretty minimal for, how big the robot is. Like, the bubble here isn't much bigger than the actual toy, so that's good. Well, let's just take a look at it first, and then we'll do some articulation probably along the way. So this giant cover on the head, it definitely is plastic. You can hear it, hard plastic. It looks like a speaker mesh or something, something you'd see on the front of a home stereo speaker. But it has some defects in it on purpose, it looks like, the way they molded it, or not. I don't know, maybe it came out of the mold poorly, but it looks a little bit messed up right there. Alright, we do have some airbrushing, it looks like, to give it some weathering detail. Look at that, very neat. And then all the little fasteners are painted like a dark color. I can't really say they're metallic, though. Maybe they are, they're gunmetal. This is really small. So it's really nice that they went over pretty much the whole body with an airbrush. Right? So, I mean, someone had to do all that. That's crazy. This hose here is actually floating. It's rubbery too. Maybe it's PVC or something. So that's nice. Yeah, very cool. And then these little armor flaps here. Let me back out actually again. So naturally they articulate up and down. And there's a metal pin right there. So it's not going to snap loose or anything like that. It goes all the way up. Nothing on the bottom really though. But we can look now at the actual arm mechanism. Really cool. There's like a gunmetal color here with a bunch of nut details or bolt head details. And then the arm itself is silver. And then there's again a metal shaft. I don't know if that's an actual bolt head. No, I think it's just a metal pin, like a stainless pin. And you can see all these cables, again, being really flexible, so that's nice. And the 3 colors, very cool. Looks like a ratcheting thing. So that's really impressive. Look at that. Nice. You can actually go all the way back, but I'm afraid of, that might be bad for those cables. And does it spin? Well, yes, the shoulder, if you want to call it that does rotate 360. And then the forearm also rotates 360, so that's pretty good articulation there. Okay, and then you have this like 3 missile details there. Unfortunately, this thing blocking the front doesn't move in or out. It would have been cool if this thing popped in and out, but it doesn't. I guess it's just glued in place. Alright, I don't know what this is supposed to be, but it's painted a gunmetal. Some more airbrushing here going around. You know what, I'm a little too far out from the booth. Let me move the camera in. I'm going to start the video far away because the packaging is so big. But now let's get a better top-down view. I can move into the photo booth more. Maybe that's ammo, not sure. And then on the front end we have the various gun barrels. Yeah, decent enough detail there. A little vent detail. There's a little black darkness there, but not all the way. So that's pretty cool. I like that arm a lot. Behind it you have more of these bolt details. This vent, this is a vent on the real robot, it looks like, so a little black paint might be nice. Kind of wish it went in more so you could actually add black paint detail easier. This grill, if you want to call it that, is a gunmetal. It's pretty nice, it goes in pretty far. Seems to be a separate piece. You can see the body color there. Underneath we got, now you got some vent details there, very cool. And it's screwed together. For some reason you want to modify it. Maybe, I don't know where you would add LEDs if you wanted to. I guess you could really maybe run a battery pack in here and run wires out. You know, just drill some holes out and drill them into here, and then you could actually put an LED in the barrel. Like a 1mm, 2mm LED. I will not be doing so. That's just saying that was time consuming. So the articulation here, not much because it's colliding with the legs right now, but without the legs there, still not much. What's it colliding with? Oh, it's just the way they designed that. You know, it's a square inside of another square, so it literally collides there. Or something is colliding. Oh, it's actually in there. Right in here it's hitting. Okay, well that's fine. This isn't supposed to be a gymnast. I mean, if it got taken out by a stairwell. It's not the most articulate. It's not the most flexible robot. So this side here has totally different guns. This one has a double stack of guns, whereas this one has like two totally different guns down here. So that's nice that they're not symmetric. But these weird boxes are. I have to assume those must be ammo magazines. And then again, the airbrushing, really cool, very nice. And this side, yeah, the same cabling, the same elbow arm pieces, so that's cool. Alright, so now let's see, we'll go to the back of the head. We got some vents, and they are painted, looks like gunmetal again. Little panels here on the side. Ooh, they look like radioactive, maybe cartridges or something. Both sides. Very neat. Some vent detail here. So, and then more cables, and they're flexible rubber hoses or something, pipes. Alright, on the bottom, oh, what is that? There's a patch. Does this thing have sound? There's a battery cover, I think. Oh boy, we're gonna have to figure that out. Hold on. There's no paper, there's no instructions at all in that box. Come on. Okay, that came out. Oh boy, alright, so let me go and see if I have batteries that'll fit this. It looks like it takes 2 batteries. If I had to guess, they're LR41s. Well, I'm mistaken, LR41s are way too small, but these are 2 LR44 batteries, and they look like they do the job. So let's pop this back on. This screw here. Oh, nice bonus. I did not expect that. I just want a cool looking model, and it is, but it actually has some noise. So I found this button. Okay, so there's 3 recordings. Hopefully you picked that up. The microphone's behind the monitor to reduce my heavy breathing. These cheap microphones are really good. Hopefully you heard that. If not, I apologize. So that's cool. Very cool. Yeah, alright. So that's what's going on in the head, it seems. So I guess the legs. This is hard plastic here. What looks like rubber is not. And then the leg obviously pivots. I'm trying to get this arm out of the way. Let's see. Oh yeah, I'll go all the way around probably if the arm wasn't in the way. Yeah, so it pivots pretty far forward and back. There's a slight ratcheting effect I can feel, but it's barely there. It's nice that they thought of it, but it's not. I don't think it's strong enough. I have a feeling this might fall down if you're trying to do a crazy pose, right? Alright, so in the top of the leg we have like the screw shaft. So this thing moves up and down. What I don't know is if it'll actually do it on this model toy. Maybe there's a lock. No. Push it? No. It looks like it would slide because I can literally see air right there. But yeah, I can also see it around the black shaft. So there it is. Alright, very cool. And there's a little, you can hear the ratcheting effect. So now that's a much better lock than what's going on inside of this circular one. So that's neat. Let's see what it looks like fully standing. You might want to like wiggle it. I feel like it should go more, but maybe not. Wow, alright, so hold on now. That's pretty high right now. So let's see how tall it is in the tallest high mode. It's gonna be hard for you to see. Oh, hold on, let me change the camera angle again. So if I had to guess, a little under 7 inches, 6 3/4, but it's basically 17 centimeters. Whoever designed this may have done it in metric, or maybe it's just random luck. So that's it in the high mode. Let me drop it down to fully lowered mode. On this side, yep, alright. Granted, you can also articulate, you know, the torso, so up and down. I'm just trying to do it level-ish, kind of like that. And now we're down to like a little under 6 inches or 15 centimeters. Okay. So for me, I think I like it more in the lowered position. That's just how I envision it from the movie. But I'm trying to think, why would you want to raise one leg versus the other? Let's see what would happen if I extend that out. I guess if you had like some sort of obstacle you wanted to stand over. Hold on a second. Here's my remote control for my air conditioner. Like maybe you have a diorama. You could maybe have it do that. Or like navigating stairs. Maybe you build yourself a diorama of a stairwell right before it falls over, and that would be why. Or look at this. It's got a lean to it now. This is actually pretty cool. Hold on a second. It's like doing a slalom, grand slalom in the Olympics or something. So that's interesting. Okay, cool. I like that. So that's nice that they have that articulation. That'll be fun for playing around with. And so yes, yeah, if you want to have it taken a nap or something like that, you can. And the arms actually go around the legs pretty well. Let's see how far I'll go back upwards. You can become an anti-aircraft robot. Alright, so very cool. Let's continue on. I think there's some articulation maybe in what I would call the knee. You see right here, I think that's a split. But no. Or unless it's a ratchet? No, it seems pretty firm. Let me try this. No, it will not. That's a lost opportunity. I feel like it would have been cool. Or maybe it doesn't move in the show, but why else would it be round there? Right? But it looks like it should spin a little bit, or a few degrees. Okay, well, we got some shock details, but no silver paint there. But there's a lot, obviously, in the more important areas like here. So, some actuators, and again, the airbrushing of it is very good. And also, someone went over it with a silver dry paintbrush, and so we got a bunch of like metal scratches being mimicked there. So that's very good. Yeah, in particular, it's obviously very concentrated on the feet, where they would get the most weathering. Sorry, it's so shiny. I don't know if the camera. Maybe there. Yeah, you can see all the streaking from the paintbrush. So that's very nice. And then they still went over it with the little gray or brown airbrushing. So now at the bottom of the feet we see a bunch of screws. So, and then there's a little articulation here, only a tiny bit. So you can kind of mimic that stairwell scene again, where it's trying to reach for the next stair down before it falls over. But yeah, there's very little movement. I think it would have been cooler if they were able to get a little bit more than that. But maybe that's how accurate it was to the movie. Maybe it didn't move its toes so much. Unless this comes out. No. I was thinking maybe it pulls out. So nice little like textures, you know, as if they were rubber pads or something, but it is hard plastic. You might want to just add some black paint over these screws if it bothers you. And then we have some sort of circular thing with details on it. A bunch of details here as if it was like a rubber seal, like a CV joint would have on a car drive shaft. Okay, so I can see there's a hinge up there, and I don't think you're gonna see it, it's too dark. And then the foot, I don't think there's a hinge at all, because it's literally trapping a rectangle inside of a rectangular hole. So that's another lost opportunity, unless it's supposed to be that way on purpose. But I almost feel it would have been cool if the whole foot was a little bit further down so you could rotate the whole foot, you know? But you can't rotate it at all. All it can do is pivot up and down like 5 or 10 degrees. But maybe that's just the way the robot was in the movie. I haven't watched Robocop in a long time, so I don't know. Alright, just trying to see if there's any other details that I missed. I could pose those arms high up. It's like, what's up? What's up? Okay. See what this thing can do. Ooh. Be careful which way you bend these. Again, those hoses, I don't think it's good to squish them like that. So probably want it like this in most instances. The hoses are on top or in the back. Alright, well, this definitely has a lot of cool ways to pose it. You know, there's enough moving pieces that I think you really entertain yourself for a few minutes for sure. But ultimately, I'll probably just pose it like that. Right? I am noticing it seems like these joints, they're just not very tight, you see? This thing, it kind of fell there. It kind of drooped easily. Whatever ratchet in here isn't very strong. But you can, if you want, you can take it apart. There's 2 screws up in there. And maybe throw in some, I don't know, poster putty or... Oh, actually there's 4 screws. You'd have to remove it from the top first in order to open this thing up. There's a parting line right here. I'm sure you can tighten it up somehow. I just don't feel like doing it right now. If it continually droops though, then yes, I might actually tear it apart and mess with it. So let me get this thing, well, you know what? Here, we got Robocop 2. Granted, it's not Robocop 1. Maybe, I don't know if there's a difference. Maybe Robocop 1 from Hiya doesn't have this crazy gold and green paint effect, like this rainbow color. But yeah, there we go. You know, let me close these back screens out. Come on, Robocop, stand. So it's kind of hard for Robocop to stand without the actual stand. Oh, there we go. So there, you can recreate the scene if you want. Very neat. Alright, let me get this thing, you know what, actually so big I'm not going to put on the spin thing yet. I think, no, it was in Robocop 2 that he jumped on the back. Did he jump on the back of this at all? I don't think so. No. But I do recall he grabbed the arm and had it shoot itself, but no time for that. Let me just pull out two more robots here. That if you have other franchises and you want to see how it fits in. I reviewed a bunch of these B25 Votoms robots. These are like walking tanks in this cartoon world, so you got this figure in there. But it's very similar in size, right? If you don't care about the actual franchise, this just looks like a cool robot. You know, as if there was no human in it. I weathered this one up quite a bit. So I think those two work. This is deformed though, it's not accurate to the Votoms cartoon. And then I don't really show these too often, but 3A is a brand, and they make these 1/12 scale robots called World War robots. And this is called Bramble. In Bramble in particular, look at this paint job. They come in many colorways, but this one, the paint, it looks like a real rust. I mean, it's quite well done. I don't know if they're using a salt chipping technique. I mean, look at this bazooka. It looks like it's rusted. Bramble's a very large robot in the 3A universe. So I do have other ones that are smaller, but I just thought I'd throw this one out because the paint job is so cool. Alright, so yeah, again, I think these could all kind of sit in the same cabinet and be okay. The very last one I'm going to pull out is this little guy. I think this is made possibly by Bandai. That doesn't say anything on it. But it's a little super deformed ED209. It's just PVC and that's it. Oh. So there we go. We got ED209 and Mini ED209. Get these out of here. Well, this is a very cool toy. The detailing is all there as far as the molding goes. You can go and weather it up if you really want to. I guess and it's nice that it has the 3 sounds. That's kind of neat. Nice discovery there. I guess the only criticism I have really is I do feel that this thing is not tight enough. This up-down torso movement, but the legs are definitely strong. With the ratcheting teeth, those won't fall down anytime soon. Alright, so very cool. Very happy to have this. I'll probably get the cane, so that'll come later on. Thanks for watching today. Take care.